What he said?
I didn't realize I was muted that whole time. I'm so sorry. All right, welcome to Performance Seminar. Today is May 13th. We have two performers today, Arya and Gabrielle. Let's go ahead and jump in. Gabrielle, go ahead and introduce yourself. Turn on your camera, turn on your original sound, introduce yourself and your piece, and let's jump in, okay?
Okay, so my name is Gabriel, and I'll be playing Snowflake Rap.
Okay. Nice. Nicely done. Very nicely done. All right, what's one thing you feel like you did really well, and one thing you feel like you could improve on?
Um, One thing I probably did well on is probably keeping like a steady beat.
Huh?
And maybe one thing I can improve on is probably trying to memorize this piece, because I only remember the beginning.
All right, awesome. Okay, so we'll go over a few other things in the second half of class. Let's jump over to Aria. Aria, introduce yourself. Turn on your camera, turn on your original sound. Introduce yourself, introduce your piece.
Hello, my name is Arya, and I'm going to be playing the Jurassic Park theme by John Williams.
Pretty good, pretty good. All right, what's one thing that you feel like you did well, and one thing you could improve on?
Uh, I think I did well on, even if I made a mistake, I just kept going. I didn't restart. And one thing that I could improve on is memorizing it more, because some of the notes were off.
Okay, all right. So first off, both of you guys did a fantastic job. So give yourselves a round of applause. So nice job, nice job. All right. So let's talk about um some some areas that I feel we could work on, and then we'll talk a little bit about some memorization tips and tricks, right? So,
Yeah.
all right. So something I think that gave both of us trouble, or all of us trouble, was the transitions, right? And Gabrielle, you can go ahead and turn on your camera and unmute yourself. We're just going to chat for a little bit.
Mhm.
So, in Gabrielle's piece, there are a lot of transitions in this piece. A lot, right? So, something that I would recommend is you want to go right before the transition. So, like, for example, we have this, which is a transition, right? Because we're moving. And then from this to this, right? And I would do the note right before the move or before the transition and the note right after the transition. And practice that. Get that really smooth. Dr. Elaine likes to call those the joints of the piece because it's where they fit together. And they tend to be weaker because we don't typically practice over them, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for Gabrielle, I want you to play just from there to there.
So do you want me to start from the beginning or?
Just start from right here if you can. Nice. Okay. Good, good, good. Another really tricky one is over the page turn. So just play me this measure to that measure, okay? Nice. So something you can do is try just the right hand. So do just the right hand. Last note, right? Try to do it without looking at your fingers. Mhm. And then let's do the left hand. Okay. Do it again. Okay, and let's do it together. Nice, very nice. Okay. So the other thing I was noticing was that the left hand felt a little bit heavy. Do you feel like the left hand was giving you some trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say was giving you the most trouble about the left hand?
Um. Um.
Like, does the left hand feel heavy? Does it feel clunky? Like, what's going on that's making it that way? Do we know?
No.
Not really? Okay, that's okay. So something that I would recommend is maybe just try to be a little bit lighter. Do you know what conducting is?
No.
Okay, so conducting is where we play the right hand and then we tap the quarter note pulse with the left hand. Let's just try that with just the first couple measures here.
Okay.
Starting from here. Don't play anything with the left hand, just tap the piano or tap your lap, okay?
Okay. Like, what do you mean by that?
So like, let me play. So instead of playing the left hand, the left hand. So I'm just going to do it on my head so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I can't think of that. Does that make sense? Let's just try that. Nice, yeah. It's tricky to do. It's really tricky. So that can be helpful when you're struggling with that kind of a coordination, okay? All right, really good job. Let's jump over to Aria's piece. Okay. So, nice job, nice job. So we were struggling with some of the transitions. I know we've kind of been working on it. I think this was maybe the biggest transition aside from the repeats, right? Which we'll do those in a second. So let's just do just this right hand, just this little part, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's do just the right hand. And I don't want us to look at our fingers.
Okay.
Just, oh, pause, just the right hand.
Oh.
Just the right hand. Huh?
Okay.
So what do I have to do from this part to this part?
Go up one step.
Mm-hmm. So we call that a what?
A whole step. Oh.
What do we call it?
Shift.
Shift. Nice. Yeah, so we're going to shift up one note, right?
Okay.
So, play that one for me again. Nope, just pause, just this part. Starting from here. Pause.
Oh.
Starting from here. Nice, yeah. Nice. All right, good, good, good. And another part that I want us to kind of do really quickly is here to there.
Okay.
That's it. All right. Good, good, good. Okay, so now let's talk about memorization. So, what are some ways that we can memorize? So, Gabrielle, what are some things that you do to memorize a piece?
By practicing.
So, play it over and over. Aria, what do you do to memorize a piece?
Play over and over.
Okay. Where do you have that one up there? What's something else that you do?
Play a measurement over and over.
Okay. So I think both of you guys have the right idea. So I think that is really good. So some things that I like to do is I like to look for similarities, places where it's the same. Okay, so for example, in Aria's piece, we get this ba-da-dum, 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 right? Now the left hand is different here between here and here, but it's the same from this one to this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one thing that can help us. We can also memorize, like Aria was saying, in sections. So I might go ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, and I might try to memorize just that part by, like you guys said, playing it over and over and over. And this would be number 1. Okay? Then this might be number 2. This would be number 3. Right? And then we would repeat. And then obviously the ending. So why do we do this? Why is this helpful? Do we know? Anybody know?
And if you're playing like a long song and there's one part which you need help like memorizing, instead of playing from the beginning, you can just like play that measure over and over again.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So our brains are really kind of interesting. They do something called chunking. Okay? And what chunking is it's taking groups of information, and in our brain it's saying this is one thing or this is one group, right?
Yeah.
And what it does is it allows us to hold more information with less brain power. Okay? So by grouping our pieces up to memorize, we're giving our brain it's kind of like giving it a shortcut, right? Okay, so that can be really helpful. All right, let's talk about Gabriel's piece. So Gabriel, you can go ahead and turn on your camera and your microphone. All right. So for Gabriel's piece, Gabriel, where would you put your first section?
Can you circle it or something?
So remember we talked about with Arya's piece, we showed where his sections would be. So for this, sorry, my dog's being crazy today. Oh my goodness. So I would probably say this part up to this part. So they're really nice, and they say this is where our intro ends. This is where the piece actually starts. This is where our intro I can't say that word today. This is where our intro ends. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I might spend some time just playing through this and labeling that. You can actually like physically label it intro, or you can just like mentally label it number 1, right? Section number 1, right? And then we have the start of section number 2. And sections are typically going to be 2 to 4 measures long. So that can kind of help you gauge how they go, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then, so what is something that you guys have learned today? I know we kind of did a little bit of a bunch of stuff. What's something?
How to memorize the piece.
How to memorize the piece? How do we memorize the piece?
By like kind of like grouping like measures and stuff.
That's nice. All right, what's something that you learned today?
Like the transition, like how to make it easier.
Nice. Good. All right. You guys both did fantastic. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later.